Ayachallah. Greetings, everyone. So today, I'm going to give you an instruction. This instruction is the traditional greeting which I'm giving to the men of Judah, and this will be your first test. Everything begins with a greeting. So, if you take this greeting to heart and you practice it, the Most High says this is concerning the men of Judah and concerning the inhabitants of Jerusalem, of how we will greet each other in the future. But you must learn the greeting now, because it will determine whether or not you will be established in the future. We're going to begin. Jeremiah chapter 11. Of course, you see I'm coming from the Jonathan ben Uzziel. Ayachallah, heed the words of this covenant, so you shall speak with the men of Judah concerning the inhabitants of Jerusalem. See? Word for word. And you shall say to them, thus says Yah, the Allah of Israel, cursed be the man who does not heed, or Ayachallah, mush Ayachallah, not receive the words of this covenant, which I'm sending to you right now. This is the beginning of receiving the covenant, which I commanded your fathers on the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt from the furnace of iron, saying, Ayachallah, my memra, my word, my instruction, memra. And you shall do them according to everything which I shall command you. So you shall become a people before me, and I shall become your Allah, your God. So the Most High has said, for you right now, watching this video, receive this instruction that I am giving to you now and practice it. If you want to work your way or come back to be established in the land. So it will start with this small, simple test of obedience. This test is the greeting. We will greet our brothers from now on with the word Ayachallah. You see what I did there? I raised my right hand as a gesture of peace, and I bless him. Ayachallah. Receive the words of this covenant and do them. Now, what is the proper response to Ayachallah? You have a greeting and a blessing going forward. The response to this is Amin Bengul Allah. Amin Bengul Allah. Or Amen says Yah, or Yah, or Yahoo, or whichever definitions of the God of Abraham. Traditionally in the tongue, we say Amin Bengul Allah. And it would sound like this. Ayachallah. Amin Bengul Allah. Amin Bengul Allah. This is to help you get established here. Now you will say to me, Gidon, how in the world does a greeting help me get established in the land? It's not the greeting. It's actually the first practice in obeying an instruction from the Most High directly. So from now on, when you're in the marketplaces, we're going to say Ayachallah to our brothers, whether they understand or don't. You just greet them, Ayachallah. Shake their hands, Ayachallah. All right? Now, in verse 5, it says, so as to establish the covenant which I made to your fathers, to give them the land producing milk and honey, as at this day. So now this greeting is taking you back to an ancient language and tradition, a culture and a customs to help you get reestablished back here, the Most High says. And I answered and said, Ameen. Ameen Allah. Ameen Bengul Allah. Okay? And Yahya said to me, prophesy all these words in the cities of the house of Judah and in the marketplaces, saying, Ayachallah. So now you have the commandment to go out and greet your brothers in the marketplaces and everyone else with the word Ayachallah. Okay? And which means saying Ayachallah, heed the words of this covenant and do them. So when you say one word, Ayachallah, the definition of that word is heed or receive the words of this covenant and do them. Now, we're going to have some demonstrations and I'll be right back after this.
Greetings from the land. I'm going to show you a short presentation as to how we greet each other in the land according to the Most High's instruction. Brother Ali, Ayachallah.
Ayachallah.
Hey, Brother Ali, Ayachallah.
Ayachallah.
Ameen Allah.
Ameen Allah.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Now, here comes your test. You're going to say, what happens if I don't do this? Correct? So now I'm just going to read, now that I've broken down what to do, I'm going to read what's going to happen if you don't do it, thereby proving that I am teaching you exactly what the Most High says, and your disobedience will result in your punishment. Verse 7. For I truly warned your fathers on the day that I brought them up from the land of Egypt, even up to this day, rising up early and warning, saying, Ayachallah, receive my memra. But they did not, Ayachallah, receive it, and did not incline their ear, but each man walked in the corrupt fancy of his evil heart. They followed their hearts. There's nothing more wicked than following your heart. So I brought punishment upon them, because they did not listen to the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do. And they did not listen. And Yahya said to me, it has been found that the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem have rebelled. So the Most High has found out, and he's reporting to you that all of you are in rebellion. Now, how can you say all are in rebellion? The truth is, he is a deep mystery. In order for the Most High to say that all of you are in rebellion, there must be some small faction of you who have found the truth, that there may be distinguishment. So, the majority of the ones doing wicked things that are not in Jerusalem, or in Jerusalem but not living in the Abrahamic customs and traditions, those are the ones in rebellion, all of them. And the ones who are living in the Abrahamic customs and traditions, those are the holders of the light and the key to being established in the land. They have returned to the sins of the first fathers, who refused to heed my words, who refused Ayachallah. And they wanted And they wandered after the idols of the nations to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah changed my covenants, which I made with their fathers. Therefore, thus says Yah, behold, I am bringing evil upon them, from which they cannot be rescued. So now calamity is coming to you, and you have no rescue coming to you, because you're doing the same wicked practices, lifestyles, and covenants and deeds as the wicked first fathers whom the Most High put out, who he punished. And they have wandered after the idols of the nations to serve them. So you're all around the world following the beliefs of the people all around the world, right? If you're in America, America is a Christian nation, and you have Israelites there. They are in Christianity. Even their brand of Hebrew is based upon the basic understanding of the same Christianity. So they have the same idol. Therefore, thus says, I am bringing evil upon them, and they cannot be rescued. And they shall pray before me, but I will not receive their prayer. So you're going to pray when these hard times come, and the Most High is not going to listen. And the men of the cities of the house of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall go and make request of their idols, to which they offer incense or prayers. Will they be able to deliver them in the time of their misfortune? For according to the number of your cities are your deities. Wow, that says a lot. So the Most High says he's going to punish you so bad you're going to go crying out to your idols, but they will not be able to save you, and he will not listen. He says you have as many idols as you have cities that we live in currently today. So let's see what he's going to do about this to fix it. And the men of the cities of the house of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall go and make a request of their idols, to which they offer incense, which is prayers. Will they be able to deliver them in the time of their misfortune? For according to the numbers of your cities are your deities. O you of the house of Judah, according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, you have made altars for shame, altars to offer incense to Baal, or the Lord. And as for you, do not pray, now he's talking to me, do not pray for this people, and do not make supplications. For them, petition and prayer, there is no pleasure before me to receive their prayer at that time. When you pray for them before me at the time of their misfortune, what is there for the people which was beloved before me? They have forsaken the worship of the house of my sanctuary and have made counsel into sin. So, again, the Most High is upset. You're still using the King James. Even though he said use an Uziel, you're still following other people's belief rather than to take literally the instruction written right here in the Uziel. And though it is brought to you, you neither accept it. So now the Most High is telling me, the reader, as the teacher of the Uziel, not to pray for you when the misfortune comes. So even though I'm doing it, and the Most High will hear me for being obedient in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, I am instructed not to pray for you because it will upset him. And I'm not into upsetting the Most High. Many mix flesh of profane things with holy flesh, and they shall go into exile. So he says, many mix flesh of profane things with holy flesh. So he's talking about your food. So you're eating, things mixed improperly. So you're eating abominable things like maybe a shrimp sauce over steak. You see, you're mixing profane things over holy things. And they shall go into exile from you because of your wickedness. Would you then be strong? That's a good question. When the Most High cast you out, will you be strong then? Will you be able to endure the harshness of the reality of the Most High's power and punishment? Behold, like the olive tree, which is handsome in its appearance, and behold, in its looks, and its boughs are exalted among the trees, so Yah has raised your name to dignity among the nations. But when you transgress the law, the armies of the nations, who are strong as fire, shall come against you, and auxiliaries shall be joined to them. And Yah of hosts, who has established you, has decreed to bring evil upon you because of the wickedness of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, when they committed for themselves, so as to provoke anger before me, to offer up incense to the Baal, or to the Lord. Thus Yah taught me, and I learned. Therefore you have made me see your works. But I was brought like a choice lamb, which is led to the slaughter, and I did not know that they had devised evil plans against me, saying, let us cast deadly poison into his food and destroy him from the land of promise. So they want to put me out of the land of the living, and usually the easiest way is to poison somebody, putting things in food that does not belong in my food. This has happened to me on 2 or 3 occasions. What can you do? You stop eating with those people that eat those things. That's what you do. You just stay away. There's nothing else that can be done, since they want to destroy me for doing the right thing. But Yah of hosts is a true judge. Reins and heart are revealed before him. So the Most High is a true judge. Both the reins which control a man and the heart are revealed before him. So whatever you think or you feel, he already knows the route you're trying to take. Let me see the reward of your judgment on them. So the Most High is going to take judgment on those who sought to come after me. For I have uttered my humiliation before you. Therefore, thus says Yah concerning the men of Anathoth, who seek to kill you, saying, do not prophesy in the name of Yah. Then you shall not die at our hands. Therefore, says Yah of hosts, behold, I'm going to punish them. Their young men shall be killed with the sword. Their sons and their daughters shall die in the famine, and they shall have no remnant. For I will bring misfortune upon the men of Anathoth, and the year of the visitation of their sins. So, this year, the Most High is coming to pay a visit. He calls you the men of Anathoth, the ones who are trying to get me or whatever. So I just wanted you to know that he's coming for you. Your children will die of famine and pestilence, and that's how it's going to work. That's my time for today, and this is the test when the Most High is coming to test you in this next year. If you thought 2020 was bad, Wait till you see 2021. That's my time for today. Remember, Ayachallah, the greeting. Okay? So do the greeting and do accept the covenant which I'm extending to you. Do not rebel. Now is not the time for any more rebellion, but you will.